Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Prophet, and today we are going to be taking another look at hidden gems, and we're going to be hunting them down and hopefully finding some very, very valuable hidden gems. So obviously first, let's take a look at some of our previous and see if they're doing anything too crazy. So right now we do take a look at Typerium. Typerium has been doing obviously big things since our first Hidden Gems episode. We talked about Hyperium and it was down quite a bit. I think it was, Sunday that it actually made that jump, and I think we talked about it around that 0.0012 mark, and right now we're obviously seeing it at that 0.004495. Obviously, very, very big increase for Typerium. They actually commented on the video as well, so it's pretty cool. I think Typerium is going to continue on their way up. If you want to take a look back in how we found Typerium, definitely go back to episode 1, as you can see how we, went about finding Typerium altogether. But let's take a look at CoinGecko again. The usual way that we do this is actually fairly simple. It just requires some research. So what we'll actually do is you scroll down to the very bottom. You'll find that there is different pages you want to go to. Maybe, start at page 5. You want to go back down to the bottom, and then you'll probably go to, 6 through whatever. But you want to go to a decently far back in the page numbers. We'll go to like page 7 this time around. And then you want to search by market cap. Obviously, we are doing that currently, so you're going to be seeing that the market cap right now on these is going to get continued lower and lower and lower. You obviously want to get in at the, a low volume in the last 24 hours. However, market cap is going to be the big one. We want to get in a low market cap. If the volume is below maybe $100 or less, you definitely want to stay away from that, because that is one of those coins that is a very, very new startup. But anything honestly over, a couple $1,000s or less in the last 24 hours, I would stay away from altogether, unless you really see insane potential behind it and you have a lot of trust for that token or coin. So if we go down here a little bit longer, you can do this by a couple different ways. You can check the price chart on the right, and take a look and see if there's any patterns that you like looking at and you think there's potential behind maybe that price chart in the last 7 days. Or you can take a look at these numbers between that 1 hour all the way to 7 days, and if you see 3 greens in a row, maybe it's going to continue that green streak. Or you can try to buy a dip and see if you see 3 reds, you can obviously see that it's probably going to be at a lower price than it was, obviously, and you can maybe buy a steal of a coin. So there's a bunch of different methods of doing it. You can do any method that you enjoy the most. Obviously, some people as well look at the names of the coins, and then they can take a guess on whether or not they may be interested in a coin like that. Obviously, that method is just more for fun. I wouldn't say that's going to help you find that hidden gem any faster than maybe the other 2 methods. But let's just scroll down and see if we can find anything today. Obviously, we found some good ones in the past. Let's see if I believe this is episode 6, if episode 6 is any better for us. So let's take a look at, I'm just looking at some of these charts on the right. This one's doing a lot of different things, is Mirrored Apple. We could continue down, though. I think we're going to find something a little bit different here. So Decentr is a cool one. I think this chart itself is going to show us some very big growth coming. Let's take a look at Decentr. So if we take a look at the last 7 days on Decentr, we're seeing a lot of movement, and it's definitely just had this recent decrease from that huge height that it got to at 0.465. This is just one of those graphs that kind of, it kind of came out to me a little bit, because it does look like we have a potential dip that we can buy into. Obviously, in the last 7 days, we do see an 8.5% increase. If we go to the last 30 days, it doesn't look like this one's been around for too long. If we go to the last 90 days, you can see that it has been around for the 90 days. However, if you go and you see this 1 year up here, you can see that it hasn't been around for a full year. So if we go to the full year, we can see when it first came to CoinGecko. It looks like that would be July 2020. And it's done a lot of movement, and then obviously a long stabilization of pretty much nothing, and then a massive increase into just a bunch of randomness. So let's go back to that 7 day and let's see if we can make some sense out of this coin. Maybe take a look at the bottom. You can obviously see it's available on Uniswap, so it's something that's fairly easy to get. Obviously high fees, but like I said, very easy to get on Uniswap. So Decentr is It allows users to generate, reuse, and exchange high-quality data online via a secure browser extension, and suite of defintech tools. So a pretty cool concept already based on that. But let's take a look at the actual website itself, as we want to also take a look at the market cap. Market cap pretty low. The trading volume in the last 24 hours is also fairly low. So you do want to be a little wary of the trading volume, because that is a fairly low trading volume for the last 24 hours. We will continue to get quicker and quicker with this one after the first coin. I just wanted to go over some stuff with this first coin, because you do have a lot of coins. I think there's I don't know how many coins there actually are, but on CoinGecko alone, there's 6,594 right now. So if you want to find that hidden gem, you're going to have to go very quickly and do your research very quickly. And any red flags or anything you don't even like about the coin, it's fine to keep moving on. You don't have to settle on every single coin. So here, let's take a look at the website. Your data is value. Use it to pay less online. Data is the new currency. Companies have been selling your stolen data for over a decade now. Raw user data that actually belongs to you. Decentr returns the control and value of your data to you, the user, securely. And wow, okay, so I do like the idea behind this. Before we look any more into it, though, I'm going to go to the very bottom, because this is where we're going to see that they have their Twitter. And this is always very important as well. Make sure they're still working on everything and they're not falling behind. It looks like Decentr is still working on things. Obviously, we see this release notes for build 1.1.9, and they see key updates include, and they go over their updates as well. So I do like Decentr already. I think this one could definitely be one that you may want to take a closer look into. If we go to their website, let's take a look closer into it, because based on what I'm seeing here, I like a lot of what we're kind of looking at here. So what are the advantages of user data as payable value, and how does it work? You're the owner. Your data is currency. Your personal data value and engagement equal value. Okay, so I think this one's actually a very big potential behind this one already. I wouldn't say maybe the hidden gem yet, but so far I think this one has a very big potential to be maybe a hidden gem. I think it could be. Obviously, I don't want to say it's a hidden gem because this is the first one we've looked at. However, I think this really could be. I like the idea behind it. I haven't seen many other try to basically, you get to provide your data for value. In return, you get let's see if we can figure out that. In return, what do we get? So it says value. I don't know if you get currency of coins or money or what. I'm assuming coins back in return. However, it does look like you get value in return for your data. So I think this is a cool concept. Obviously, your data is pretty much out there anyway at this point, so getting paid for it, you might as well. Decentr roadmap, you do have a roadmap here. It's a very, very basic roadmap. It doesn't tell you much about each and every part of the roadmap. However, it is a cool idea to have. I think this is a pretty cool utility token. We'll see how this one works out. I think we will definitely be checking back on Decentr. We won't look much more into it. However, I will say I do like the idea behind it. So we'll definitely take a look back at this and see if it increases over time. I think this could definitely be a hidden gem that we may be interested in. But let's continue down. A lot of people talked about Voyager recently. Game credits we also talked about, I believe. If we continue down, let's take a look at some of the more of these. I like looking at the price charts. There's some price charts that I like to look at, and it gives you an idea of the value behind them, and as well as maybe if you're getting in at a good buy-in spot. I'm still kind of hooked on Decentr. I think Decentr is a good buy. We'll take a look back at that here in just a second, though. As we continue down, here's another one, Unistake. Kind of the same situation on the graph. So let's take a look and see. Maybe this is something that I'm loving a lot right here with this kind of graph where we have such a good increase. We have a kind of a dip and a stabilization here into another increase. Obviously, now we have that long decrease here into a small stabilization. So we have pretty good increases within the last 7 days. We do see a 28.8% increase and that 8.8% increase in the last 14 days. This could definitely be another potential hidden gem. Let's take a look actually at the Unistake website, as well as go down to the About and see. You can actually get this one on Uniswap as well. So another very easily available token. Unistake is a decentralized token protocol built to empower DeFi projects and incentivize liquidity providers through staking bonuses, yield farming, and regular dividends. Very cool concept as well. This one is about 16 cents. I don't think I actually looked at what Decentr was valued at. So we will go take a look at Decentr and see what the price behind it was. You guys probably saw it, but I don't remember if I actually even looked at that. So we do see that the market cap's actually pretty low. The trading volume as well, very low. We do see a lot of potential based on this graph, but let's take a look at the actual website. So provide liquidity and stake at the same time, built to work with Uniswap v2. So this is a pretty cool concept behind it. obviously they do have this Unistake app here at the top right. You can click that. So for users, for Uniswap, and for projects, this is another cool. I think we might have hit 2 potential hidden gems in a row. I do want to do some more research in this one. Obviously, like same with Decentr, I would have to do a little bit more research before investing my own money into it. So if you one of these catches your eyes, definitely do your own research before investing. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm specifically this time just really trying to find potential in certain hidden gems. And then if I like one specifically after this video, I'll go take a farther detailed look before investing myself, and the same you should do as well. So initial stake offering, the ISO, and they talk about the automatic listing and then the trusted code as well. If we go to the very bottom, usually they have their social medias down here. It doesn't look like they do. They do have a Discord and Telegram. However, we're not going to click those right at this moment. But I would definitely make sure this is one that does have a up-to-date Discord or Telegram where they are still talking about the project and working on it. Obviously, sometimes you can get into a project and not even know that the development for it is pretty much at a standstill. I don't see much of a roadmap or social media here as much as just pretty much that Discord and Telegram. So I would love to see a Twitter from them at least, or maybe even really anything. But I do like the website. I think it gives you a lot of good information here and how it works. I mean, there's a lot here for you to read. But yeah, like I said, you would want to make sure that they're still working on it, obviously, before investing in it. Unistake looks like a very potential, it looks like a potential hidden gem as well. I won't say it looks as good as Decentr. I think Decentr still holds the throne right now for today's episode of hidden gem hunting. So let's go look at Decentr again and get ourselves a price on it. I don't think I got ourselves a price. So about 37.5 cents for Decentr right now. That's not a bad price at all. I definitely think that Decentr could continue to rise in value for sure. So let's continue down and see what else we have on the CoinGecko here. If we go to page 9, let's see if we can find anything with a little lower market cap even. As we scroll through, we see a lot of coins, a lot of cool price graphs. I think something like this where we're seeing kind of a build-up. I like this as well. Remember, you'll have your own strategies when doing this yourself. However, I do have a few strategies myself that have worked for me in the past. Anytime I see kind of a huge build-up like this, that means there's potential in the project usually. And then obviously a dip like this, you're usually buying at a pretty safe spot. However, you're still going to see potential for like a 20, 30, 40x. Usually that's still a potential possibility at this point. Definitely with a coin that is below 2 cents, you're going to see a lot of potential for big growth. Rouf is what we're going to be looking at this time around. Let's see the about. So it doesn't look like you can get this one on Uniswap. However, you can get it on a couple different exchanges there. If we go to Rouf, as an architecture combining blockchain and Internet of Things, IoT, Rouf chain includes a public chain for development as well as distributed operating system. So I don't know if I love the sound of this one quite yet. Let's take a look at the actual website though before we judge it too much. Rouf chain, blockchain unified IoT, decentralized open source blockchain architecture for high efficiency Internet of Things application development. So it's not too bad. I think the idea behind it's good already because there is a need for this. I think the application scenarios, they talk about the asset management. Okay. Open data transactions, property right. So this is a pretty cool idea as well. They talk about the Rouf tokens and where they're all going. Private sales 5%, the early bird sales 30%. So it is probably still in the early stages. It looks like we do have a roadmap here that only goes to 2019. I don't know if I'm seeing this right, or I might be. Let's go to their Twitter and see if there's anything for us to see. March 20th. So they are still up to date with their Twitter. But I don't know if this roadmaps they're just done with it. They've completed everything, or I would have to look more into this one. But because of that, I'm actually going to jump out right now and just head on to the next one. Because like I said, guys, we have 6,594 coins to look for. You have to look for that hidden gem quickly. So we're not going to spend too much time on stuff that isn't an obvious buy. We want to make sure that these hidden gems are obvious buys. Those are the only ones that will continue to increase. The ones that you have to think about for too long, usually those aren't going to be anything in the future. Those usually will end up tanking, and it's usually the ones you're like, wow, that has a very good utility outside of just the blockchain. I mean, it has utility everywhere. Like there's a lot of coins that have a lot of potential behind them, and those are the ones you're going to want to jump on as quickly as possible. We're going to keep following our trend of finding those charts that have big increases, then huge dips. This is going to be another one of those. If we look at the last 14 days, we should be able to see that here. So we obviously see this massive increase up to $111, and now it's all the way down to about $68.12. So it is a fairly expensive coin. However, there's still obviously a lot of potential for very large gains with that market cap being so low, and the trading volume is also very low. So this could be a risky one to jump into. It does look like it's a line finance coin, so we'll see what we like about this one, but it does look like it's available on Uniswap, so I do like that. Let's take a look at the line finance. So a protocol for creating options and stablecoins out of ETH. Okay, so is a stablecoin backed by ETH? Okay. The problem I see with stuff like this is there's so many it's similar. I won't say exactly like this. I think they are doing something different, and there could very easily be a big demand for this. However, I don't think it's going to be our 100x just because of a few things. Obviously, the price makes it hard to jump into at that price point. It's not one of those hidden gems that you're expecting at a couple bucks or maybe even less than that, a couple cents. So let's go back to the old list and see if we can find anything else. We will probably look at maybe one more coin tonight, I guess this morning, and we'll see if we find anything of value. So we do have UTU here. UTU is definitely one I've seen in the past, and I think this definitely does have a lot of potential behind it. We do see that Uniswap V2. It is available there, so that is pretty cool. We do have, in the last 30 days, a 10% increase. If we go to the last 7 days alone, we're seeing a very big increase here from 12 cents all the way to that, what were we at? About 16 cents. Now we've dipped back down, and we're kind of struggling right around that 14-cent range. This is one I do know a little bit about as well. So I do like UTU as a project. I just clicked on it there because I saw the price chart, and obviously I've been talking about how I kind of like those increases into a dip because you're getting at a good price. And then also we have it right around that 14 to 15 cent range, which is a very good buying point as well. So very good entry point for UTU. Tokenizing trust, they talk about anonymous ratings and reviews can be easily manipulated. The UTU protocol compensates users for accurate reviews and provisioning of their data to increase trust for the entire internet. So this is another one, obviously, I think is absolutely huge. I have looked at this one in the past, so I'm kind of cheating on this one. However, I think this one is going to be huge in the future. If you don't have UTU, it's not a big deal. But I would obviously do some research on UTU. I think this one, like I said, has a long-term potential behind it. So I'm going to put this one right up there with Decentr and say that these are the two winners for today's episode. If you want to learn more about UTU, I would definitely suggest going to utu.io. And then also for Decentr, it would be Decentr, DECENTR.net. Obviously, two very good coins. They look like they have a lot of potential behind them. We will come back and check on these in the future episodes as well, just to check and see how our hidden gem callouts are actually doing for everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Tuning in for today's video. It's been a long video, so I'm struggling here at the end here, but if you guys appreciate this content, this series, make sure to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel to watch more content from me. We always try to put these series out every single day, so if you guys do appreciate this series, make sure to leave a comment and let me know. I have a lot of fun doing this series. I think we found a lot of hidden gems, really, and hopefully a lot that you guys can look into yourself. And then if you like the hidden gem, definitely take advantage of that and invest with your own research. Obviously, not mine. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research. But thank you guys again. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I put a new video out. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one.